Howdy y'all, Jackson here with Ixtric Studios, and welcome back to another episode of Outside the Hash, and I once again have a co-host, so hooray.
Yep, I fell asleep before the last one last week, but I'm back here now. Gotta love long drive days.
Yeah, pipe. Alright. So you, ready to kick things
Yep.
off? We've rearranged the
Uh,
order we're going over things from highest level to lowest level, but also from transferring from outdoor to indoor, and then the fun
yep.
stuff.
All right. So we're getting started with CFL, correct?
Yes, we are.
All right. Let me get my screen shared here. Should be able to see that. All right.
Yes.
All right. So I'm covering the nice close game between the comeback actually of or sorry, not really comeback. Near comeback is how I should put it. For the Saskatchewan Roughriders against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Well, at Hamilton Tiger Cats, the Roughriders won 28-23 and held off the Tiger Cats at the end. This game was pretty even passing, but the Roughriders showed much better skill on the ground, quite significantly, averaging 6.3 yards a carry to the Tiger Cats 5.7, and also just rushing almost 12 more, rushing 12 more times that game. So the yards added up with those averages. Similar first downs, similar sacks. Sorry, just going through this real quick. Tiger Cats had 2 turnovers to the Rough Riders 1. Both teams had a turnover, and then the Tiger Cats gave it over on downs, so not really the same thing. Second down conversions, rather close to 50%. With the Rough Riders being a 56% to the Tiger Cats 45. So Rough Riders just did a little bit better, probably across the board, and we're probably a little bit better compared to what the score kind of shows. Rough Riders did get a 64-yard interception return to the Tiger Cats 11 on that interception. And then field goals, Tiger Cats did a lot better, making 3 for 3 with a long of 40 to the Rough Riders 2 for 5 for 40. That might also show the point disparity a little bit there.
Yeah, they could have killed you by more.
Yeah, I mean, these are both my teams. You have to remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is they could have
The
easily
Tiger
killed.
Cats are your favorite, aren't they?
Yeah. Tiger Cats are my favorite. Let's be real. But yeah, they could have killed us by like 9 more points. So then it would have been more of the score I would have imagined for the way these stats are. But yeah, not really too much else to say about this game.
Okie dokie. I will pull up my game. Oh, that's the thing we'll go over very end. So I am looking at my Alouettes. They easily handled the Red Blacks. Total breakdown, we had about 130 more passing yards. We had about 50 more rushing, or 60 more rushing yards. So we pretty much doubled them up, basically. We kicked, they had 3 turnovers to our, I guess we had 2, but didn't affect the outcome. Alexander, he threw for 344 yards in his second start as the true number 1. 75 yards on the ground for Theus as well. So 2 receivers with over 100 yards as well receiving. You like to see that. up anything real bad. No, yeah, picked off Schilt 3 times. Held former Alouette William Steinbach down. I mean, he still had a good average, but we were up enough to where they weren't really running. So all in all, a good W for my Owls. Other games in the league were Winnipeg beating BC. Nathan O'Reck did still lead the game in passing, though, so good for the Canadian. And then, we don't need picks there because we didn't have picks. And then Calgary beat the Chad Kelly-less Argonauts 29-19. Arbuckle still led the game in passing, though, but it did not account to a win. But Jalen Philpott with 117 receiving yards for Calgary, so that's good. Games this week: Montreal versus the Eskimos. I'm gonna go with my Owl.
Give me Montreal here.
Toronto versus Saskatchewan.
I'll take Saskatchewan.
With Saskatchewan. I'm gonna hope Chad Kelly comes back.
Yeah, fair.
BC Winnipeg. I'm going Winnipeg.
Yeah. Give me. Who did Winnipeg? Oh, it's just a rematch. Yeah, give me Winnipeg. Talking about back to back. Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's only 9 teams and they play 18 games, so.
Fair.
And then the Red Blacks versus the Stampeders. I'm gonna go.
As much as I would love to pick the Red Blacks here, I feel like I have to go Stampeders.
All right. Yeah. So SRS
we're only split on one.
Yeah, we're only split on one, and SRS doesn't really matter looking at the standings because they're only 2 weeks in.
Yep.
But Montreal, the only team with a win in the East, and then lots of winners in the West, except for the Eskimos.
Yep.
Bo Levi Mitchell.
How long do you think till all these teams get a win? Do you think it's before the Eskimos or?
I'd have to look down at the Eskimos schedule. They play the Red Blacks week 5. They could win that.
Sorry, I'm looking through right now. Yeah, Red Blacks probably not winning that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they might get a win before 2 of these get a win, but we'll see.
Yeah. If the playoffs started today, there'd be a crossover. So.
Yep.
Yep. And then Bo Levi Mitchell, you're still leading the league in passing. Matthew Peterson is leading the league in rushing, and Kenny Lawler is leading the league in receiving yards right now. We're gonna hop over to the UFL for their championship game. It was a high score. There was no defense.
Yep.
58-34 for the DC Defenders. So I was sad because I don't want the XFL to win. That's just gross and disgusting and despicable.
I'll give credit to Jordan Ta'amu, but that's it.
Yeah, it was a good Ta'amu showing. It was actually a good showing by both quarterbacks, honestly. They both...
yeah. Almost 400 yards, though. Kind of insane.
Yeah.
Only 63 rushing yards? Is that just the player? Yeah, that's probably just player. Sorry.
Yeah, it was 200 to 100. That's your difference.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But, Kyle, you can take some solitude. The Battlehawks ended the season with the best SRS. So,
Yep.
you can take that.
There's something.
You can Give yourself a pat on the back there.
And hey, we were the regular season champs, you know?
Yeah, because you got an extra home game, probably.
Yeah, probably. Let's be honest.
No, yeah. God, I hope the championship isn't in St. Louis again next year.
Don't worry, it will be.
Yeah, but only like 12,000 people showed up this time.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably because they might switch it then. All right, so it's going to Michigan, is what I'm hearing.
We should go back to Canton. That was a good spot.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, now we can hop over to the LFA.
All right, LFA. I'm having trouble with your stream. Can you put it down and pull it back up?
Yeah.
And then, are you able to see mine all right?
I can see yours fine.
Okay.
It could be because, I'm streaming.
No, now it's up. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just having some issues
I'll turn off my camera too.
All right, perfect. So, this one was a choke job, is what I would call it, by the Gallos Negros. Upsetting loss 22-21 with a choke in the fourth quarter because they were up 14-9 going into the fourth quarter. Well, into the half and the fourth quarter. Neither team scored in the third. Going to some stats here. Just to point out, these stats are very difficult to read, so just to do a quick point out to some interesting stats here. So the Reyes had, I gotta love Google Translate, switching them to the Kings, but the Reyes had 23 yards passing and 101 yards on the ground with a total of 124 total yards of offense. And where is it? I don't. All I know, there were turnovers, but yeah, I would have to search for it. But there were 4 turnovers in this game by the Gallos Negros, so really screwed themselves over. Could have been an easy win, but
yeah, because the Reyes suck.
Yeah, they really do, and it's a very disappointing loss.
Yep. Womp womp
Right.
to your Blackhawks. Alright. I will hop up to my game where my Funded Arrows ignore the Bears name. That's not their real name. They're still the Fundadores. They beat the Caudillos. This would have been a lot more sweet had the Caudillos not lost to the goddamn expansion team. But no, they had to go lose that game. But anyway, we won 35-21. 5 touchdowns to 3.
I can only imagine how Nate feels right now.
He probably has killed himself, but also because of the Stanley Cup results.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he wanted Canada to win.
Yeah, but he didn't want Seth Jones to win. I think he was just cheering for World War III.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was,
which might come still, just maybe a little late.
I mean, yeah, you want to root for it until the game is over, and then it's like, okay, now you no longer root for it.
Yeah.
I'm still rooting for the Meteor.
Meteor. But anyways, Shelton Epler killed it, 400 passing yards. So get smashed on. Jeremy Johnson obviously had some rust coming out of retirement because he was 11 of 21 for only 65 yards. And a pick, and their other guy then had to come in and play a little bit and played a lot better. But I'm going to take my wins. Axel here, 42 rushing yards. But yeah, LFA. Yeah. We had a leading receiver too with Calvin McKnight, who had 144 yards. Other games that happened this week were the Raptors beating the Archangels 12-2 in a just a sad football game with no offense. That's where all the defense went from the UFL championship game.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, and then the Mexicas continue their undefeated season, beating the Dinos 33-20. Jaya Wright continuing his success since he left Indianapolis and the Fisher Freight to come to Mexico. He's been playing well.
Honestly, kind of worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been playing really well.
So yeah, Mexico's led all statistical categories. They're still number one team SRS, Fundadoras, number two, then the Cadillos, and then the Drop.
3 teams above 500 is kind of insane.
Yeah. So anyway, will the Mexicas get their undefeated season, or will the Cadillos upset them here in the final week?
Give me Mexicas on this one. I think they can get the undefeated season.
You go to Mexicas. I'll pick for Nate's heart there that they're not going to let somebody else go undefeated.
Here's the thing with this game. Both teams are incredibly bad, but which one is going to choke more? Based on the SRS, it's looking like Raptors are better, but I think the Gallos Negros can just end it here and get a win, because it's a win-and-in situation, isn't it? Or no, it's top 4. Never mind.
It's just top 4 this year. Yeah, they didn't do the stupid thing with even more teams.
Okay, good. It looks like top 4 they may be out no matter what. I don't know the tie break for Archangels if they lose.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, because Archangels are going to lose, in my opinion, more than likely.
They beat you week 1, so they probably have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, they probably have the tie. Okay, so we're probably eliminated here, unless there's
some
kind
of
weird triangle that happens.
So are the Raptors. So probably.
Dinos could win, so there might be a weird triangle, but either way, I think we're eliminated. You checking scores?
Yeah.
So we can try to get an idea. It could be a fun triangle for the last spot, but either way, whoever gets in is getting rolled by either the Fundadoras or the Mexicas.
Yeah.
Which would probably be, it would be the Mexicas, because the Mexicas beat the Osos.
No, you mean the Fundadoras?
Yeah, I'm just using both their names. Dub Airs.
Los Perros. Yeah, I am not reading this quick enough to win it against the Reds. Yeah, you beat the Reds and the Dinos. Those are your 2 wins. So it would be a weird.
Yeah, it would be a weird triangle that we don't need to do the math on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also assuming the Gallos Negros can win here.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe in you guys, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe in us too. I'm gonna go with the Dinos here, or Dinos.
Yeah, Dinos.
I forget. And then give me the Osos.
There's no Osos here, only the Fundadoras.
All right, give me the funds.
The Fundies. The Epler is leading the league in passing. Can we shout out to Trayvon Boykin, who hasn't sucked cock this year?
Impressive, to be honest.
This is his first year he's actually played competent football.
Honestly, yeah, good stats.
Tim Whitefield is...
Epler is still by far the best quarterback right now, but...
He is by far the best quarterback in the league. Tim Whitefield is leading the league in rushing, and then James Hop for your Gallos Negros is pretty much doubling up everybody, just almost. In all the stats. He's killing it.
Yeah, only receiver on the team, but he's doing his job. He's
Yep.
really doing his job.
So you can see the bottom 3, 4, and
He's got
5.
a
3, 4, and 5 are all Fundadores. I think 6 and
oh
7 were
boy,
also Fundies.
yeah, good splits on all of them. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Epler's
mean, it
throwing the
makes
ball
sense with
around.
these stats right here.
Yeah, yeah,
That being said, 8 touchdowns. How many touchdowns does he have? Five touchdowns for the rest of the team, or the
yeah,
rest of the receivers.
yeah,
Uh, it's looking like he'll have an 800-yard season, even win or lose.
yeah. And if the postseason
Yep.
started today, that's what it's looking like right now.
Yeah.
I don't like
I
having to
mean,
play the Caudillos again. I know we just beat them, but
yeah. I mean, what can really flip here? Nothing. And top
nothing.
three can't
Just
flip.
the fourth
It's
can
only
flip.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever wants to lose to the Mexicas, nice. All right, perfect.
All right, we will hop into the ELF now.
Yep. All right. So I'm covering a blowout. Let me go to the report.
Yeah.
Or sorry, it's up here. So this game was a 43 to nothing, close game with the Rhine Fire barely edging out the Sea Devils. The Sea Devils did hold the Rhine Fire to 0 points in the third quarter and only
Nice.
7 in the second. Going to the report, 2 touchdowns, field goal in the first, touchdown in the second, 3 touchdowns in the fourth. Let's just do pass it. Game leaders real quick. So Mac on the what is it? Sea Devils? Yeah, Sea Devils. I don't know why I blanked.
Yeah.
Mac for the Sea Devils, 2 for 12 for 7 yards, 0 touchdowns. I believe they had 4 interceptions.
I
get
do
that
want to
in a second.
give the Sea Devils a little bit of a bone here. Is that Tua's little brother left him like a day or two before this game. He went back to America
fair.
just for family issues, so they had to cut him. So they kind of got
That's sad.
they kind of got a
Yeah, they had no
they kind of got
pass
boned.
offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an impressive game. They were constantly giving the Rhine Fire a short field, so the stats don't really reflect how bad it was because of that. But going back here, 22 carries for 127 yards. So that's what, 5 yards a carry, just about?
You know, if they were Michigan, they would have won this game, though.
Or sorry, no, yeah, that's maybe a hair over 5 yards a carry, so not terrible. But 135 yards off 11 carries, 2 touchdowns for Scott. Receptions, their receiving leader was 1 reception for 13 yards. That can only make me believe the other reception was for -6.
Or sacks count against pass guard.
Yeah, sacks probably count against him. So it might have still been a screen pass, but yeah, maybe like a 1 yard gain for considering more or less a 7 yard loss.
Yeah.
Then 4 receptions, 41 yards, and 1 touchdown for Quofi.
That is an adorable name.
Going to let's just go to team stats here. Passing first downs, the Sea Devils had 12 rushing first downs. So their rushing game was good. It was kind of the only thing they had there. We got 1 for 1 on fourth downs, so give them credit there. While the Rhine Fire did not convert a fourth down. Total plays 58 to 47. Total yards 203 to 322. Quite literally double the yards per play for the Rhine Fire. So it was offense and defense here, kind of. 7 yards per play is still kind of insane. And I think it would probably be higher if they were giving them more field to work with.
Shout out to 0.58 yards per pass.
Yeah. So total yards, 203, rushing 205. So yeah, they went. It must count sacks against. We'll check that in a second. 194. So they beat them on the rush. And then then time of possession, about 5 minutes swing towards the Sea Devils, probably because they were on the field more. Just as the Rhine Fire were always scoring there. So let's just look here. So you have 1 sack, 7 yards, averaging a half yard per attempt. That's awful.
It was a negative
yeah.
yard catch, so good call there, Kyle.
Yeah, -6. Yeah. Yep, called it. Impressive stats, I will say that.
Bro had as many rushing yards as he did passing yards. 7.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think there's too much else to say on this.
But if they were playing the Gallos Negros, they would have won.
Yeah, probably, sadly enough.
Alrighty, for my game, I did my Galaxy getting smoked by my Storm. But well, the Storm's obviously the best team in the league because they just stole all the Rhine Fire players.
Yep.
But McKay, 24, 34, 190, 2 picks and 5 sacks. Jadrian Clark continues to be really good at football. 17 to 27, 273, 3 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. I don't know how he is not playing in America. He is so good. And you will see it when I show the stat, the full league stat. But yeah, they killed the Galaxy. Womp womp to me. But ELF, so Vienna undefeated in the east, Nordic undefeated in the north, Munich 3-1 in the south, Stuttgart 3-1 in the west. Other games that happened were the Panthers kicking the crap out of Centurions, Berlin finally bouncing back and beating the Enthroners, Munich beating the Mercenaries, and the Raiders beating the Bravos in a close game. That was actually the game of the week, probably. Actually, definitely, because most of the games in this league are blowouts. The 1-point game is very good. So, Raiders, Mercenaries, who you got? I'm going, obviously, Raiders.
Yeah, give me Raiders. Mercenaries just not playing well. The Helvetii have just not been the same since Julius Caesar destroyed them. So, yeah. Seems to still be the case. Give me Rhine Fire on this one, I'm thinking.
I like my Vikings.
Vienna should probably still win, but I'm gonna ride the high of the Fire. Cologne and Stuttgart. Yeah, give me Stuttgart. They're still playing well.
I'm just gonna ride with my team. I don't care.
I mean, it's like 50-50. I'm gonna go Paris on this. I'm gonna trust the SRS on this one.
Fine.
So I think it does go either way.
Berlin, Munich.
Give me Munich here.
Yeah. Berlin has to prove to me that they remember how to play football.
Yep.
Nordic is gonna murder them.
Yeah, give me Nordic.
And fuck it, I'm going Prague.
We got Prague and Hamburg here.
Yeah. Prague is actually not complete shit this year, so I messed up.
Yeah, they're 500 right now.
They're because they put a 2-thing gap somehow. Oh, no, I deleted the points for somehow. Oh, well, I will figure that out later then.
Yeah, I'm gonna match you. I'm gonna go Prague on this one. I agree.
I'm gonna go Prague.
May as well give them some credit while they're good.
Yep. All right.
No
Reed
X
Sinnett,
League this week, right? Or do we?
they do have they had their game. They had their the
Oh,
Pro Bowl.
oh, yeah.
Okay. So Reed Sinnett still leading the league in passing. Jacob Sullivan, despite the fact Berlin has been garbage, second. Jadrian Clark out here killing it. A quarterback rating of 133.2.
That's
No
insane.
interceptions. But yeah.
16, 20-3 is good, but 16-0 is really good too. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think Madrid's is
Yeah,
better, but
Reed's in it at least was a UFL starter last year.
yeah, fair.
So I just don't
Yeah,
know why
he's very
I
good.
don't know why Jadrian Clark is not in America.
Fair.
He must
Yeah.
really just like being in Europe. Crispin
I mean,
Kai.
I don't. Yeah.
No, if I was gonna play in a foreign league, I'd be playing in the X League.
Fair.
Put me in East
Every other
Asia.
week.
Put me in
Yeah.
East Asia over Europe.
Yeah, give you a week off every week.
Yeah. Crispin Kai is leading the league in rushing. Aaron Crickshank leading the league in receiving, which isn't surprising because their quarterback is leading the league in passing.
Yeah, not surprising.
How the postseason looks
I think
right.
it is surprising when that happens because that means they're really spreading it out and they have a good receiver core. But seeing they have two in the top five, I'm poised to believe that regardless.
Yeah. Leading postseason started
Literally half
today.
his
Nordic
yards.
Storm is 1, Vienna is 2. Munich,
Okay.
I guess Stuttgart would be 3, Munich is 4. Frankfurt 5, Raiders 6 in the
Nice.
seeding.
Nice.
All right, hopping over to the X League where they had their Pro Bowl championship between the Obik Seagulls and the Nojima Sagamihara Rise. No surprise, the Seagulls won, but it was a close game, high scoring. So that's both quarterbacks had over 300 yards passing, which is really surprising for this league because that usually does not happen.
Mm-hmm.
But our boy Kurt Palandench from former Panuca rival, because he went to Plainfield, one of the Plainfield schools, had a good game. Yeah. Jamal Watanabe killed them, but Tay Cunningham also killed the Seagulls. So it's really the story of the American wide receivers on why there was so much. But yeah, fun game regardless. High scoring, which is weird for this league. And then in the Green Bowl, that finished a couple weeks ago, the Panasonic won because they won their 2 games. So also no surprise there because Panasonic is really, really good. So we will hop over to the IFL now.
Perfect. All right. So, as a Vegas Golden Knighthawks fan, a little bit of an upsetting loss here. Just not a great game for us. Just got down early and stayed down. Didn't score anything up to the half. Was down 15-0, and then just kind of matched the Panthers in the third and fourth. Final score 44-31. Obviously, going to some individual stats here. Josh Jones for the Panthers, 10 for 16 for 94 yards. 2 touchdowns and a long of 18. And then Nighthawks were combined 15 for 25, 103 yards. 1 touchdown with a long of 14 and a sack. Jerome Johnson played pretty well. He was the bulk of it, going 12 for 14 and 93 with one touchdown. So he played very well. Running was also pretty similar. Both teams had pretty balanced offenses, all things considered. The Panthers 29 attempts for 125 yards, with only losing 5, with 4 rushing touchdowns and a long of 23, averaging 4.4. To the Nighthawks, 24-86. 4 lost, 3 touchdowns, a long of 29, and a 4.3 yard average. So very similar outcomes for both rushing offenses. So we had most notable for returns is Antonio Wimbush with 3 returns, 3 kickoff returns for 46 yards with a long of 32. Nice big return. Longest on the other side was a return of 13. Then both teams had a missed or blocked field goal. It looks like the other one was essentially just a punt with a 48-yard block. But they did have a 34-yarder that was good in the second. And that sums up everything I need.
Okie dokie. I will go hop over to my game, where I watched my Quad Cities team wheelers beat the Fisher Freight 45-28. Shout out to the 5-5 first quarter, which I believe came via deuces, not safeties. So, but Daquan Neal 11-17 at 172, 2 touchdowns, no picks. We like that. Carlos Davis 18-26, 181, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He did have a rushing touchdown, but Jaron Ware for the Steamwheelers had 2 rushing touchdowns. Any big Jordan Vesey, JT Stokes both had decent receiving games for either team respectively. Kyle Kaplan was 2 of 3 on his field goals, so he stayed decent. Any big things of note here? I guess Fisher beat us in total offense and both in rushing and passing, but yet we came away with the win, so we will take the dub. Other scores from around the league. The Green Bay Blizzard smoked the Jacksonville Sharks 75-43. Tucson upset Arizona in triple overtime 50-47. Massachusetts handled the Barnstormers 66-35. San Diego beat Northern Arizona 56-53. And the Tulsa Oilers beat the Gunslingers 41-21. So, do you want the Oilers or do you want the Pirates?
Hmm.
I'll go Tulsa.
Yeah, I feel like Pirates could win this. Is the thing.
They could.
But
they are home. They're usually better at home.
Yeah, give me Pirates. Yeah, I'm feeling Pirates.
I'm gonna go Pirates. Green Bay Fisher's Freight. I'm going Green Bay.
Green Bay. Yep, Green Bay.
Quad City, Jacksonville. I gotta pump up my own team against my own team. But my real
Sharks are playing pretty well. Weren't they? They weren't that great last year, were they?
No, they were garbage last year, but they've been good this year. But they just got smoked by Green Bay.
Yeah. Quad Cities are too good to pass up on them right now. 9-2 is incredible for them.
Okay, I'm gonna go Golden Nighthawks here.
Yeah, give me Golden Nighthawks.
A Battle of Sag here,
Yeah,
but Tucson better.
I'm gonna go with Naz.
And you're gonna go Naz.
Yeah, give
That's
me Northern Arizona.
That's brave.
I have faith. They can bounce back.
I believe the Rattlers will bounce back here against the Panthers. But this is a good game between good teams.
Yeah, give me Bay Area.
And then I'm gonna go San Diego.
So you're going San Diego. I don't know why I'm thinking about this. This is just San Diego. Yeah, give me San Diego. Yeah, I really don't know why I was actually thinking about that.
You just saw San and was getting all confused on why there's still Spanish language after all the deportations, right?
Yeah, of course. That's it. Definitely.
Yeah. Dalton Snead leading the league in passing. TJ Edwards leading the league in rushing. Kyan Williams leading the league in receptions. So, that hasn't changed. If the postseason started today, Quad City, Jacksonville, Green Bay, Tulsa, Bay Area, Vegas, and Arizona, San Diego are the games. On to the AF1.
All right. So I'm covering a playoff implication game. Salina Liberty came back from a 16-point deficit in the fourth quarter and scored 17 unanswered points, giving them the win over the Southwest Kansas Storm, 53-52. Both of these teams are playoff teams as a result. Both teams are in the playoffs. It was a choke job by the Southwest Kansas Storm, but the Salinas needed this win in order to make the playoffs. That's preview. Give me team stats here. All right. So for passing, Southwest Kansas Storm, 16 for 29, just over 50% completion, 2 interceptions, 236 yards, averaging 15 yards a pass, which is really good. 3 touchdown passes. Major problem there is the 2 interceptions, but 3 touchdowns is still good. Rushing, Jalen Morton was also their rushing leader, 9 for 57, averaging 6 yards a carry and 3 touchdowns with a long of 26. I usually skip over receiving, but Demarius Washington, 9 for 9 receptions for 147 yards with a long of 16 and 2 of the touchdowns. Moving on to Salina Liberty passing, their passing leader was Rakeem Cato, 18 for 24. It's pretty even between the two, but the better of them was Rakeem Cato, 18 for 24, 1 interception and 3 touchdown passes. 75% completion rate is always incredible. Anything 700 is really good. And then rushing leader was Tracy Brooks. 6 attempts for 18 yards, averaging 3 yards a carry, no touchdowns, but they did have 1 rushing touchdown by Kilgo, who was the other quarterback who went 10 for 21. Receiving leader was, I'm going to call it Ed Smith Jr., 9 for 121, averaging 13 yards with 3 receiving touchdowns, but did have a fumble. They had 2 fumbles, to be exact.
But they both had 100 yards, so they're acceptable.
It's acceptable. And they still won. It did make it a very close game as a result. But very good game by both teams, with the choke at the end and the clutch by Salina to get them a playoff spot.
Good. All right. I'm going to hop over to my game, which was the Albany Firebirds. They almost scored as many points as your game by themselves. This was their second largest win of the season, as they beat Corpus Christi 100-12 earlier in the year. But that was against replacing players, and this was against almost real players, because Washington is the worst team in the league. But their quarterback was 13 of 33 for 103 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So, not great, but you know, based on the score differential, you'd think it'd be way worse, but it wasn't. You know, he was just turning the ball out. Well, not turning the ball out. We're turning it over on downs is what was doing it. Albany, on the other hand, you know, 6 of 8, 3 touchdowns. They did pick off Castronova, so that was pretty impressive. And then McCoy came in at halftime, 7 of 9, 98 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, yeah, you know, they just absolutely killed him. Shout out to the big man touchdown.
I guess this wins blowout of the week, right?
Blowout of the week, yes. And it did also get them a perfect undefeated season. So they went 10-0. So your playoff team, they're the top 4. Albany, versus Salina, Nashville, Southwest Kansas. The other game that happened was Nashville and Colcomania destroying what's left of Corpus Christi, and Billings beating Oregon to keep their playoff dreams alive before Southwest Kansas blew up in their face and let Salina take that number 4 spot. So, our semifinal games. I'm going Albany.
Yeah, give me Albany here, and then give me the Cats, RAR.
You're going Cats?
Yep, give me Cats.
Yeah, I guess like Colcomania.
Yeah. I mean, if Kansas City has, or sorry, I don't know why I said Kansas City. Kansas Storm has the lead. I think they'll just choke it anyways, like they did with the last game.
Yeah. I think what I saw on Twitter is that 4 of their 5 losses, they all had double-digit leads in.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah. So the season ends up...
They choke a lot.
Yep. Season ends up with Dalton Cole leading the league in passing because he got to play more games than everybody. Jalen Martin leading the league in rushing. Not because he played more games, but just because he ran the ball better than everybody. And then Darius Prince led the league in receiving, and that is because he played one more game than the guy behind him. Shout out to Dwayne Brown with 30 receiving touchdowns. But yeah, Casanova is probably your MVP. But for funsies, I could be convinced of Tyler Polka, former Obik Seagull. You know what team he did lose to earlier in the year, though, as a quarterback? Your West Michigan. He lost to the West Michigan Ironman as a member of the Detroit Ravens.
Nice. All right, that covers that, right?
Yep. So we're going on to the NAL, where the Omaha Beef were going for a 3-peat. Well, I guess it was not a 3-peat in the NAL, but it's 3 straight titles. But they came up short, and the expansion first season Beaumont Renegades came out on top 37-29. Let's remember when the Omaha Beef fired their coach, who had led them to 2 undefeated seasons and was 3-0 at the time, to replace him with the Carolina Cobras former coach, Brandon Negron. So
There was probably a fight there, but also something to point out here was the near the comeback at the end that didn't really do all too much because they were still like 8 points short.
yeah,
The fourth quarter heroics.
yeah,
So it was a lot.
yeah.
Not as close, but
Yeah, Tommy Armstrong showed a little bit of rust in his second game out of retirement. His first game out of retirement was really good, but this one was not. 9
I
of
didn't
20.
realize he came out of retirement. Yeah.
Yeah, he came out of retirement for the postseason. 9 of 24, 142, touchdown and a pick. He did run for 2 touchdowns, so there was that. But
fair.
too little, too late. This is Carl
Showing his
Robinson's.
age.
This is Carl Robinson's league now. 12 of 21, 116, a touchdown.
I think you said it wrong. Carl Robinson the third.
The third, yes. And then he also had.
But he's the first here.
Yep. And then he also had 3 rushing touchdowns. So he is the probably the MVP for the league.
I could believe it. Yeah, it took him to a 9-1 season. So yeah.
Yeah. He led the league in passing. He was 3rd in the league in rushing. But yeah. Beef still had the best SRS, but it came up short. Lamau.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
All right, we'll go on
season.
to the Arena League, which you don't have stats for your game because their website is wonky. So I will just pull up the stats for my game, where my St. Joseph Goats finally got a win. Beating the Eau Claire Axemen 55-46. Angelo Trujillo with 26 of 42 for 219, 8 touchdowns and interception. Wade Freeman for the Axemen with 13 of 28, 170, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Any good rushing here? Not really. Both 37 rushing, but this is definitely a more passing league than anything. Boo Smith, 111 receiving yards. You like to see that. Mo Strong, former Corpus Christi Triton, 68 receiving yards. I believe he was the guy who proposed to his girlfriend when they were down by like 80 points against the Firebirds.
Did she say no?
I'm pretty sure she said yes, but
I would have said no.
It was a very embarrassing time. You should have had.
I would have said wait till you win.
Yeah, please win a game. Don't do this while you're down 80 points. I don't remember that part of the proposal.
It kind of goes within sickness and health, though. You're getting blown out, so
yeah,
may as well the hard times and the good.
Yeah, but anyway, your Iowa Woo are the number 1 seed right now.
I know it's last year we had the heroics of winning a game in the postseason.
Yeah. Turned it around.
I'm just happy I predicted it and called it perfectly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the program's turning around. Best team. Hopefully, we keep riding that out till the end of the season. But we'll just see how it goes. So first up, give me Duluth on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Duluth as well.
That one, give me the Wise Guys, though it could go either way.
Springs as well.
And then give me my Woo.
You want your Woo? I'll go with my Goats then.
Yep. I should have said just give me the Flu.
The Flu. So, Angelo Trujillo is leading the league in passing. Brandon Mackey leading the league in rushing. Boo Smith leading the league in receiving. And if the postseason started today.
He has 75% of their yards.
Oh, if he just keeps getting open, why would you not throw to him,
Yeah, fair, but I think that's also why they're losing.
Yeah, showed all to one guy. Alrighty, on to Major League Rugby, which was in their first week of the postseason. Yeah. So the Chicago Hounds beat Old Glory. The Utah held off the Sea Wolves in a very close game there to avoid the upset. Your Free Jacks easily handled the Miami Sharks, and Houston beat LA in a close game as well. So there is that. So for the conference championships, we've got New England hosting the Chicago Hounds and Utah hosting Houston. How do you feel about these games? I'm going to put my faith in my Hounds.
I think the Free Jacks can win it here, but I think the Hounds will put up a very good fight.
Okay. And then for Utah Houston, I think I would go Houston.
I feel like I'd go Houston, but I feel like it could also be a toss-up.
Yeah.
I think both could be close. I think I'm leaning more Houston, but knowing Houston, they'll let us down.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping they'll let us down in the championship against the Hounds. You know.
Yeah. I'm hopeful they'll let it down and let the Free Jacks or Hounds win. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then we have the AFL. You have your game.
All right. Yep, I have a nice defensive matchup between the Adelaide Crows and Hawthorn Hawks, with the Hawthorn Hawks edging out the Adelaide Crows by 3 points with a 47-44 finish. 6 goals, 11 behinds to 5 goals, 14 behinds. Scrolling down here, so it was a close game. It looks like the furthest ahead they got
was 20.
Yeah, about 20 points. And then half came, they were up about 15. Got really close in the third. Looked like they were pulling away for a second at the beginning of the fourth. And then it flipped and went back and flipped again for the Hawks. Finally upset. Hawks didn't have the lead until about 5 minutes left, right?
Yeah.
About five.
Absolute choke job by the Crows.
Yep. Absolute choke job. That is for sure. Going through some stats here. Player stats are almost unreadable to me. Team stats.
None of those stats make sense.
Yeah, I mean they're just really hard for me to read.
Why are disposals worth so many points?
Yeah.
For fantasy.
So just scrolling through, I didn't look through this beforehand, so I don't know what I'm looking for right now. I'm just looking for kind of key things here. Both teams were somewhat and well below their efficiency inside the 50, which makes sense because it was a very defensive matchup. Scrolling through here, anything impressive or notable? Not really, unless I'm missing something. 15 contested marks is kind of high.
Too bad it didn't amount to anything for the Crows.
Yeah, it really didn't, yeah. 15 contested didn't amount to anything, higher than their average, well below their average, and just nothing happened from it. 9 minutes. They had the lead for 9 total minutes, so it was probably about 5 at the end where they just held off the Crows. Defense, very similar. Pretty straightforward game. Very defensive, very underwhelming in terms of stats. There isn't really much to look at.
Nice. All right. For my game, I have my Geelong Cats smoking the Eston Bombers 151-56. Look at that. 23 goals. 23 goals. 13 behinds. They could have had no behinds and only goals and still have lost.
Did Essendon have the lead at any point? No, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it looks like it was tied. But yeah, it just
It
cats.
it ballooned in the fourth. Okay.
Yep. Meow, meow, meow. Hey, but they had more disposals, so they probably ended up with more fantasy points. I get the difference with kicks to handballs, though. Pretty even on everything but the scoreboard. I get the marks inside the 50. That's the real. Oh, they did have a lead. They had a 1 point lead for 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes. And who led the game in fantasy points? Look at that. Somebody for Eston led the game in fantasy points because it makes no sense.
Yep.
We had the most goals.
I
A guy with 6 goals didn't even break 100 points.
I just need someone to explain why it works that way. Is it just the sheer number? But then why wouldn't you devalue it and value goals more?
Who knows? I guess he had a lot of tackles.
Yeah, he does.
But if the other team is up by so much and is playing so much more offense, I guess it makes sense that you'd have a lot of tackles. Anyway,
yeah.
Collingwood still leading the league. Geelong is
By
now
a lot.
Geelong to 2. It looked like there was no change in anywhere. If this is any indication. Other scores from around the league. Western kicked the shit out of St. Kilda.
How many more weeks do we have? We have a
lots.
Yeah, we're just over halfway.
Yeah. GWS beat Brisbane in a close one. Fremantle almost lost to North Melbourne.
A joke.
Thank goodness Port Adelaide beat Melbourne, though. And then Carlton beat West Coast. So, for this upcoming week, Fremantle versus Eston. I guess I'll go Fremantle.
Yeah, give me Fremantle.
Geelong, Brisbane.
Good game. I think Geelong continues because they just had a very, very good game. So I think they can.
I think they'll crash back to earth and Brisbane will win.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's very fair.
Carlton, North Melbourne. I'm going to go Carlton.
Yeah, give me Carlton. Though Melbourne did play very well.
Port Adelaide, Sydney. Sydney has still not told me they remembered how to play football, so I'll go Port Adelaide.
Yeah, give me Port Adelaide. Though, I mean, they could rebound at any time, I think. But
yeah, they could win any game, but they could also lose any game.
Yeah.
Whether or not they remember
St. Kilda looks very tempting here, but give me Collingwood.
Yeah, to go Collingwood. I'll go GWS.
Yeah, I was going to say Giants on this one.
And then
Western Bulldogs on that one.
Western, yep. Who are our stat leaders? Bailey Smith is leading the league in fantasy points. Jeremy Cameron is leading the league in goals.
You're able to look at their season stats?
I think if I go to stats.
No, for fantasy points.
Yeah.
Leader.
It's per good game is what he's leading in.
Okay. Okay, so he has 2 goals.
Yeah, the guy has the most fantasy 2 goals, but he has 302 disposals.
Yeah.
And 34 tackles and 78 marks. I get marks being
where is he getting more points than the guy below him? I'm confused.
Marks?
Oh, the clears. Yeah, the clears.
Clearances, yeah.
So disposals and clears seem to be worth a lot of points.
Oh, and hitouts.
Oh, okay. Is that right?
Because he plays defense.
Okay. Fair.
Alrighty. Well, that is Aussie. And then the last thing, Fun Leagues. The AAL2 has their postseason structure. Everybody is in. Jersey is playing with Maryland. New Jersey is playing the Stampede. Georgia Indians.
Wait, so do the play-ins play each other before playing the one who wins the North?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense to me, but okay.
So well, there are only 2 teams in the North. That's why there's not 4. Just for stuff. So it's just these.
Yeah, I know. I feel like for a play-in, it's still weird to do that though. Like have them just at that point. You like split the North maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look at the standings, but it just doesn't feel right. But yeah.
Well, everybody is in. I can pull up the standings. So the Bearcats are playing the War Eagles. Roughnecks are playing the Stampede. Wolfpack are playing the River Gators. Indians are playing the...
Yeah, the South teams don't have to... it just feels weird. Yeah, that's
I
just don't like
personally would have done the East as the division that got somebody in the championship no matter what over the South, but...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It doesn't feel right, but... Yeah, it's just weird.
And before the River Gators are the ones in the championship, right?
Yeah. It would be funny, it would.
I'm cheering for the Michigan Avengers. That's who I want to win, but I don't. I think
it's with a Z, so I'm not.
I think New Jersey's gonna. But Kyle, if the Avengers win, then you can claim a pseudo championship with Michigan Ironmen, who beat them earlier in the year.
Oh yeah, true.
But I guess if the Carolina Predators win the championship, you can claim it as a pseudo championship for your Carolina Cobras, who went defunct, but that was their minor league team.
All right, so I just need those teams to match up in the playoffs.
Yes.
Nice.
That's what you can hope for.
Yep.
All right. You got any closing statements?
No.
No.
I think that covers everything for me.
Do you think you'll actually show up next week? Will I still have a co-host? A 50-50?
Yeah, I'll flip a coin right before I get on.
Classic Kyle and the coin. All right.
Yeah, I haven't done that this season. I haven't done the coin. We need to add that in.
Perhaps. Maybe that's what I'll do since Nate's not here anymore. We'll add in the coin as the third picker.
Yeah, it would be fun. Yeah, I think that's a good third pick.
Yeah.
Because I can't wait to lose to the coin still.
And then we'll all have the pseudo Patrick pick of just picking the home team.
Yep.
All right. We'll talk to everybody next.